guys, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Here for day 9. I was really hoping that once it was fully dry, see a bit more sheen, but those little tiny bits is all we got. But I do think there's something going on there. But more importantly, I was like, I kept saying Scabiosa and it was reminding me of a reference and then I couldn't remember the reference. What I was thinking of is, in Harry Potter, and I think it's in the first one, and they're on the train and Hermione's like, it's not pronounced Guardium Leviosa, it's pronounced Leviosa, or whatever that is. And anyway, that's what I kept wanting to say when I was saying Scabiosa. And I'm sure all of you, like me, are so happy I took the time to clarify that. So, day 9 takes us to the end of this page. Just make sure that's all right. Same shtick as always, just going to dive in. Let's see if I can get down there. I mean, there's one in my hand. Ooh. Yep, we've knocked. All right. There's going to be another one I can't pronounce. 3 oysters. Oh, God. Hwangto? Hwangto. 3 oysters, Hwangto. This is one that was part of my Mother's Day present. have never tried a 3 oysters ink. I have swatched this ink very, very briefly. And that's it. Never really looked into it, discovered it, things like that. It is orange. I don't know if you can see in there. Maybe the lid will be a little bit better. So let's jump in. It's going to be a super different vibe to what's going on here, isn't it? Which is also fun. So I said yesterday, and I'll give you guys today as well, on day 15, in the description, what I'm going to do is just add in all the different channels that you guys are enjoying watching for 30 Inks 30 days. So I said yesterday, comment what channel you're really enjoying, or if you found one or found your way back to one. And then I thought at the halfway mark to kind of celebrate, in that video description, I will kind of add them all in. All right, circles, here we go. Orange. I struggle with the color orange. I have received some letters before, and some of the pens used have been orange, and I always think it's beautiful. I think in the right pen, the color orange can have so much depth and shading and blah blah blah. It's just not something I reach for. I used, what was it? I feel like I've used a really light orange once when I was practicing, trying to get the hang of a flex pen, and I liked that because I could really see the intricacies of the shading and stuff. Pardon me, my cough still hasn't gone. Hopefully by the end of June, but probably not because it's daycare cold and flu season. And what was I saying? So I really enjoyed that. Oh God, circles are hard. But yeah, aside from that, I'm not really drawn to it. But that's a nice color. I just don't know if I'd write with it. So, not seeing too much variation of anything with this fine nib. But let's see what happens when I color in, really, isn't it? Which is so much fun. It's my daughter who's always enjoyed coloring, but she's she's almost 3. So she's actually started coloring in. It still goes out of the lines, but there's purpose of trying to draw in the lines. And it's incredible. And now she can do letters. And then the other day she was like, look, Mama, and she'd drawn a person. Now, her version of a person, but you could see the thought in, and it feels like it's just happened overnight. I feel 2 days ago she was literally just scribbling on a page, whether that page was in a colouring book or not. And now she's like got so much focus and purpose. It's so wild. So this, isn't it funny that even though I'm picking the inks at random, they are kind of, they're having a bit of a theme to them. Like this page has been inks that ones I don't usually reach for. They're all kind of saturated in their own way. There's no really mistaking what colour family they belong to. And truthfully, I'm like struggling a little bit as to what to say about them. And then the page before, like all three were like, oh my God, I could stare at this ink for the rest of my life. Oh God, my voice. So, just purposely packed it on in there to see if we see anything different. I feel, do you know what I feel? Like I'm getting sick again. I feel like orange would be a great ink for people like who do more kind of like painting and stuff. Like there's an art like this, I think could be really great for when people do like incredible artworks and drawings with fountain pen and fountainpen ink. It has just more of that artistic vibe to it. And like for me, just like colouring in there's like different bits of shading, but I think that it needs more skill is what I'm trying to say. So this is 3 oysters. And let's write it up in here. Hwangto is how I'm going to go with it. Now, because I packed it on before I do any swaps, because let's be honest, I am going to get ink everywhere. I'm just going to give this to a moment to dry, and then hopefully I can show it to you next to the swatch in Nostalgia. So just give me one moment. All right, does that kind of work? Let's bring this guy over here. So our last swatch for this page. So tell me, from wherever you are in the world, is like winter at daycare or childcare or preschool, whatever you want to call it, is it the same as it is here? So every winter, obviously every cold that comes through, like everyone's going to pick up. But then at the same time, like gastro pops up, chickenpox pop up, hand, foot and mouth pops up. It seems once a year. Yeah, my daughter had it last year, just as like my son, like my son's born in middle of May. So like his newborn phase last year was just like cold. We've already got the notification that chickenpox is there. Neither of us have it yet. But it just seems to be like it's not just cold and flu, and it's like everything. And then this year, like I know quite a few people who are getting like full-on influenza as well, which I'm guessing after a few years of like lockdown and stuff, I think there was a general consensus that like the cold and flu seasons were going to be pretty bad, because I guess you just don't have that herd immunity of the different variations of flu that have, come through. But I would love to know. Would I love to know? Maybe I'm just feeling woe is me, because I feel like I'm filming these every day and I just sound like crap every day. So who can be my suffering companion? Do you have kids? Are they in daycare? Are they constantly sick? Apparently, and I don't know if this is just a lie, people tell themselves, but the kids who are like in daycare from a younger age, when they get to school versus the kids who haven't really gone to daycare, do seem to like not get as sick as school. Here's hope. Still a long way away. Anyway, back to the important stuff. This is 3 oysters, Hwangto. I think you're seeing, compared to me just trying to like do it there, you are seeing nicer like gradients of the shading. I agree with what I said before, that for me, this ink would, I think, someone who is artistic, they would love. Similar to this one, I could see myself using it for some like handwriting practice, especially when I want to be quite finicky, like seeing the lighter bits and like really thinking about pressure. This could be really nice to use, but just day-to-day journaling, it's not really what I'm drawn to. That's my cat. What I might do actually, now that we've finished this page, is let me take these out so you can see it without the guide underneath. So that's what I was basing it off. I think maybe I'm getting a little bit better with my spacing compared to that first page. So that's it. That takes us to the end of day 9. Well, it just is day 9. And the end of this page. So for this page, we had Ferris wheel press, bluegrass velvet, Roaring Clingers, scabiosa, and then 3 oysters, Hwangto. Such a different page, hey. But nice to discover. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.